Many swam in the river before the fallout, many young men. The water was very pure.
Pyotr Popov was among a huge army of people involved in the cleanup operation, and they were called liquidators. His crew faced a hard task, removing radioactive pieces of graphite from nearby rivers and cooling ponds. An unprecedented job in world history, as divers didn't have the training to work in such conditions.
Our gear didn't protect us. It had a woolen inside. So no matter how hard you washed it, the radiation remained. The same story with our equipment. Divers don't care how they descend. But the conditions were hard. We all got a strong dose in the end.
And for them it was better late than never. Many agree that the evacuation itself went very smoothly and quickly. More than 50,000 were put on buses and taken out within just several hours. Maybe it happened so quickly because the authorities had explained that it was just a temporary move. People barely had any time to pack their bags, and they were told they would return in just a couple of days, so most of them left their belongings in their flats. But nowadays it's only broken furniture and torn wallpaper which remain here. Just like the shattered glass all over the town, this is not a sign of it being left derelict. Over the years, Pripyat has become a mecca for marauders and vandals. This footage was recorded with a hidden camera a short while ago. Unidentified men are loading trucks with heating radiators. The town was left full of them. One cost just $10 on the black market. Tens of thousands have been taken out of Pripyat since it was evacuated. According to the liquidators, nothing like this took place 2 decades ago.
There was a rule. Even if you saw a wallet full of money on the ground, you shouldn't take it. It meant it was contaminated and somebody dropped it on purpose. Nobody took anything.
But those people who are selling on the dirty catch are hardly worrying about bits of steel, which could still be dangerous. Pripyat is thought to be relatively safe in terms of radiation, but for several dangerous spots, like take this layer of moss on the ground, which acts like a radioactive sponge. You put the meter on it, and it goes crazy the next second. You can see it for yourself, 20, 30 times more than normal human level. It may seem to be something of a threat, but it has become one of the ghost town's tourist attractions. Something which gives the thousands who come here from across the world a thrill. Those who lust after a post-apocalyptic experience. Many want a souvenir from the ghost town, and in other cases, they want to leave something behind. 2 decades passed since the fallout, and all of a sudden, strange, grim-looking figures appeared on the walls of the ghost city. Kostya Danilov was among a multinational team of graffiti artists from Russia, Belarus and Germany who visited Pripyat in 2005 on a special mission.
On our way there, we thought we would draw our own concepts, something we usually draw in our cities. But when we went there and saw Pripyat, we changed our minds. I usually draw colorful, happy things, but the atmosphere changed my plans.
This shadowy figure of a girl in Pripyat's tallest apartment building was his first work.
For the first couple of hours, I felt lost in the dead streets. I went into houses, deserted flats. I saw the elevator shaft and suddenly pictured this little girl pushing the button. I didn't think we were doing something bad. We went there and breathed a little bit of life into that dead city.
Kostya didn't know at the time that it was his first and last trip to the zone, as his team is now banned from entering it. What he saw as a noble cause, even though met thumbs up from many of his generation, did not find much appreciation from those who lived there.
Do people draw pictures on tombstones? Do people steal iron crosses from graveyards? It is meant to be a memory. And I would say it's blasphemous to do something like this.
A genuine depiction of an apocalypse, this is what the public sees Pripyat as now. But nevertheless, this dead town lives on, with its own way of life.
По-прежнему клюет великолепно, грибов в лесу море, ягод тоже. Я лично уверен, что атомная станция не испортит этих природных условий.
Two decades after the forced exodus, the ghost town of Pripyat should be a depressing sight for those who used to live there. But Alexander Sirota has become a frequent visitor here. How often do you come here?
More and more recently, we have many projects here. Many people want to visit Pripyat, and we provide assistance for them. Many want to know about their homes.
Alexander was only 10 when he was among the 50,000 odd evacuees from Pripyat. In the last decade, his camera has clicked thousands of times in what used to be his hometown. He shoots empty buildings and the world's quietest streets. Every trip has a special meaning.
You know, I don't come here just to take photos. It still feels like home. I spent my best childhood years here. I liked it here. And even those who've never been here before come and feel the calm. So they want to come back here.
Tourism is tourism, of course, but what do you think attracts people to come here?
People have different reasons. Some want to see what an apocalypse could look like. Some want to feel the history. For some it's their childhood, like the atmosphere of the Soviet Union has been preserved. But for me, it's more important not why they come here, but what effect it has on them.
Nowhere else in the former Soviet Union can one see so many symbols of the long-gone giant in one place. And when it was alive, Pripyat was what the Soviet leadership wanted all of their cities to be like. But it was different in many respects. Most of its facilities were financed not from the state budget, but from separate sources, allocated for the so-called restricted cities, where military and nuclear industry workers lived. These shopping trolleys were once filled with groceries. And like most of the Soviet Union, Pripyat never had any shortages in food supplies. Practically everything was available to its residents, and local stores like this one never saw long queues.